Yo, I'm Maticus, and I'm back again with another Shiki-San farm. This time it's Sugarcane. Now, after Eagle Eye 621's video on Sugarcane, I was doing some optimizations as well as testing different clock timings, and I was able to find a timing to be 15% more productive. So before I get into how I did that, let's go ahead and toggle on the farm and talk about some numbers. Now, each sugarcane is producing 2,100 drops per hour. And in this 2-module setup, I have 12 sugarcane, that's 25,200 drops per hour, or 1,287 bone meal per hour. Now, I was going for lag optimization. This build has no redstone whatsoever, so it will only give us an MST increase of 2. So if we bring up our F3 screen, you will see it is 11 while it is on. And if I toggle off the farm, you'll see it drop to 9. So let's go ahead and go over how everything works as well as the components. Now the first system I want to talk about is the Shiki-San Generator. When this lever is toggled, it will give power to the sticky piston below, pushing over our observer, starting our clock, giving power to these rails. This observer will read that, giving power to this piston. This observer will read off of this one, giving power to this block and this piston. And that will give us our Shiki-San Generator. Now, as you can see, sometimes it does not shake. And that's why we have system number 2, which is our zero ticking system. Now, I can't stress enough, this has to be aligned east to west to work. If you were to align it north to south, it will not work. Now, in this example right here, we have a sticky piston below with a block on top, and an observer will be sending power into both the sticky piston and the block, shortening the pulse, giving us our zero tick to these sticky pistons, which have to be sticky pistons, and it will push our block over. And let's go ahead and give an example. As you can see, the one on the right fired, the one on the left did not. And alternatively, this will work around corners. So before I get into the timing and everything, I want to go ahead and talk about the symmetrical build. As you can see, the left side is not the same as the right side. And the reason I did this was because I wanted to save on components. And this right side right here has to be flat in order for the water stream to carry out all the drops. So you can make this symmetrical if you want to, but if you were to duplicate it, you have to duplicate this side right here on both, not this one. Okay, when this lever is toggled right here, that will go ahead and start our Shiki-San Generator. And also, this repeater on one tick right here will give power to these rails. This observer will read that, giving power to these rails and starting our zero tick pulse to push over our sand. Now, alternatively, when the lever is toggled off, that will power these rails. This observer will read that, will power these rails. This observer will read these rails, and these observers will read off of those, giving power to our other zero ticking system, shutting off the farm. Now, our harvesting system is feeding via this observer rail tower up here, and that will power this sticky piston with this redstone block. And the clock we have here is a comparator clock, and this is a comparator set to subtraction mode with 4 repeaters on full delay. This observer is reading off of that, and it will give power to this sticky piston and will push over this redstone block, giving power to these rails. And what we have is observers facing down into pistons, and that is our harvesting mechanism. And I want to talk about the blue glass for a second. This blue glass is completely necessary. Not the blue glass itself, but you must have a block here in order not to have any loss. For instance, if you are not to have any blocks above your sugarcane, the piston arm will sometimes fling the crops up and they will fall back down on the sand and you will lose your drops. Alright guys, that's the farm. I do want to make a quick side note that if you're following my videos, I made an optimized shaky sand version for bamboo. And if you want to optimize it even further, not counting the harvesting system above, you could substitute the sugarcane for bamboo and then tile this every single tile, and that will give you an even more optimized version. Just use the harvesting system that I used in the bamboo video. I will put a link down in the description. Now I want to give a big shout out to Eagle Eye 621. Without him, Shiki-San wouldn't be possible, and these builds wouldn't be getting so crazy. So I hope everyone enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one.